Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and today we have got some greenery in the market. We're almost to 1.5 trillion. We've got an XRP that's up over 71 cents, 13.38%. So today is a good day so far. It looks like Binance is having some issues. Breaking Binance clients have lost the ability to withdraw and deposit pounds using one of UK's leading payment leading payment systems 3 days after the country's financial watchdog banned the world's largest crypto exchange from operating in Britain. Keyword withdrawal. Now, here's what I'll say about this. I have always believed that when you start seeing that the plan all along was crypto custody for the big boys, the JP Morgans, the Goldman Sachs, and all the banks. And once you start seeing those guys come in, I think that there's only a handful of crypto exchanges that are going to be allowed to play in the game. Now, I don't know which ones those are going to be, but this is what this reeks of to me. Okay, moving along. Now, has Jim Cramer been activated or what? So this is another thing I've thought for a long time. I always thought that at some point these guys would ride Bitcoin to a certain level and then they would jump ship. Now, I don't know if that's what's happening, but Jim Cramer has jumped ship. But I also believed that their last hurrah with Ethereum was going to be the run-up to Ethereum 2.0. And I believe they know that a lot of competitors are about to pop up for Ethereum. And they probably also know that Ethereum might get its butt kicked in that process. But there's going to be a run-up on this Ethereum 2.0. I'm convinced of that. Jim Cramer all of a sudden is activated towards Ethereum 2.0, I believe. Watch this.
I'm curious about how you've been thinking about this market coming off of what seemed like a pretty great week last week, whether you think there's going to be a different version of rotation this week.
Bullish. Have to be. I mean, there's just too much money coming in. The rotations are actually no longer robbing Peter to pay Paul. We had that big rebalancing on Friday. Looks like we got through that okay. We're going to see how much the banks are giving back. It's hard to fight the tide here with no earnings. We just kind of have an open week. And I know you were talking with Herb Greenberg. I mean, look, there's a lot of guys who can run any stock here, Andrew. I don't know if it's good or bad, but boy, they can run it. You know what I mean?
But then how do you pick them?
How do you pick a meme stock? You look for Big Short decision. Those guys are just insane.
Let's get on to that.
Allows your stock to go higher. I mean, I'm looking at stuff like, just saying it's doing really well. So I just see a lot to like, Andrew. Study of 6 people, and people are excited about that. So I got to be bullish, Andrew. I know I just got to be. I mean, it's painful to be just like, hey, I'm bullish.
Where are you on... any new views on Bitcoin? It's held. That you remember you had said if it held 30,000, does that mean you go back in at 30?
I went into Ethereum this time. I went back into Ethereum because Bitcoin held 30. I like Ethereum because people actually use it much more to be able to buy things, and I'm going to continue to buy Ethereum. I just think it's just got a little more game because when you go buy an NFT, anything like that, everybody wants it in Ethereum. It's more of a currency.
All right, so no telling what shenanigans there's going on there. Okay, Crypto Dim sent me this. Now, this is interesting, and this is from Esoteric XRP. Excuse me. Huge question. Many want to know, where did the Interledger ISO 222 ecosystem chart come from? The one with XRP, XLM, XDC algo on it. The answer: Federal Reserve, Fedwire Fund Service, ISO 222 page, then deleted. And he got this from this guy's YouTube channel. This guy, give him a follow, at CryptoSlay3R. And then here is the clip, and go give him a subscribe. I'll do it myself. Crypto Slayer. Listen to this.
Very interesting. Before I finish this video, this is the the Fedwire Fund Service ISO 222 Implementation Center. This is what it's updated to now. And notice how it's just this huge introduction right here on this page, and it shows you the educational opportunities that it offers, a bunch of other stuff, and to distract you. But before, it looked like this, and then they changed it. They removed this famous picture where we get this ISO 222 ecosystem. This has helped us out a lot.
Okay, so I'll give you a blown up version of that for those of you who haven't seen it. You've got XRP here, and then you've got the Zinvin network. I'm not sure. I think that's how you pronounce it. Then Stellar XLM's over here, Circle Algorand. So there's your picture if you needed one. Okay, now Riz XRP sent me this. We've seen this guy a lot over the last week, and there's so many good clips, and the guy seems to be pretty darn educated on how all this stuff works, XRP and R3, and then he put out, people were challenging him, I guess, on his credentials. So he said, I've been having many developers status come into question. It's pretty annoying, but here I'm certified in AWS cloud development. Also, congrats for finding out my first name. Yeah, welcome to the social media party, Quincy. It's unfortunately, you're not allowed to just talk about, give your opinion. You have to be attacked along with it over anything that people can think of to attack you on. It's just part of it, unfortunately. But I found a couple of clips in this interview that Matty GTV did with him that I wanted you to hear, because he's right over the target maybe here. I just wanted you to hear this.
Now, I think we're going to do the same thing when it comes to a gold standard.
I'm going to increase the volume here because you can't hear that good. Here we go.
But it's not really a gold standard. We're going to go into a crypto standard where all fiat currencies are going to be issued on top of XRP or any of the other ISO coins, but it's primarily going to be XRP. And fiat isn't so much going to be made up fiat out of nothing. It's going to be the fundamental value of the XRP token that's going to be issued a dollar value. So let's say each XRP was worth $100. That means you can issue 100 fiat dollar tokens of this. Now, what's going to happen is it's not so much that the poor people are going to use fiat. It's more like everybody but the rich bankers are going to use fiat, while the bankers use the real money for international and global trade. And here's the scam. So you're going to end up getting $1. So let's say XRP is worth $100. So for every XRP, there can be issued $100 worth of value into the system. Let's say XRP goes up from $100 to $150. Well, the bankers are going to have the value of the XRP, which is going to be backed by some fundamental value. It could be gold. It could be, that's the thing, it's not really going to be backed. It's more of those backed assets are going to be on XRP, pushing the value of XRP, because in order to buy those assets, you have to buy XRP. But it's all going to be it's going to be entirely a banking thing. Regular people will never touch XRP ever. Now what's going to happen is you're going to be issued dollars. And just like how dollars are now, they will be inflated away at will at any given time. And what's going to happen is the underlying asset value of XRP. Now, it's not going to be going up moonshot forever. It may end up having a gold curve where you may see the value of XRP go up with global economic growth, like GDP growth globally. So you may end up seeing XRP grow like 2, 3, 4%, whatever global GDP is.
Yeah.
So because all the assets that are under it are all growing in value with it.
Yeah.
Now, I think we're going to do the same thing.
So, by the way, the name of this guy's video was "Elites Will Scam the Masses After XRP Hits the Stratosphere." So this is kind of a commentary, I don't know what in the world's going on. It's early in the morning. I've only had my first cup of coffee. What he's really getting at here is what he thinks is going to happen. This is kind of after moon, okay?
Talks about how the bankers are going to use XRP as an apex asset to issue underlying assets on top of it. Those underlying assets are paper, worthless. They don't really mean anything outside of, like I said, they're no different than this stock outside of somebody buying that stock, or no different than a piece of paper outside of somebody buying that piece of paper. the apex asset, whether it's the ISO coins or XRP or whatever, it's gonna have the overall fundamental value based off the amount of global GDP that's operating under these assets. So what does that mean? Well, that ends up meaning that the money that you get paid with, and get paid at the store with, will continue losing its value, while the people that have the apex currency can basically print or destroy dollars at will while maintaining their value. So that $100 you had, they could destroy it and then take that fundamental value that's in XRP and put it towards something else. But you can never take that $100 and destroy it and do anything else with it ever. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Well, what happens if we're going into a recession? Rut-row, there's a lot of cash in the system. Rut-row, not enough cash is moving around. Well, what the bankers are going to do is they're going to destroy the cash, take the underlying value of that XRP that the cash was backed by, and then buy assets with it while everybody else is dealing with the depression or recessionary situation that they're in. Basically meaning that same $100 with the value that everybody else has in cash fiat, the bankers can basically take that through XRP and put it into anything else that they want. Bonds, treasury, with instant liquidity, they can put it in anything they want. While everybody else is settled with dollars, basically, while they have an apex currency that, let's say the dollars were getting inflated away, and let's say inflation was kicking in. Well, if they were holding XRP, and instead of having to deliver it in dollars, they can destroy the dollars that the XRP created. And it's not that XRP is creating dollars; it's a derivative. It's almost like you had gold back or dollars backed by gold, dollars back. Yeah, it's backed by XRP. Instead of that's the thing though, they can control the money supply and how many dollars are in the system because it's digital, and then take the overall value that dollar represents, and like that, put it into anything else.
Now, after listening to that, there's a couple of things that come to mind for me, and I've talked to people about this before. I believe after the SEC lawsuit, there's a scenario, and actually a good chance, that this thing, remember Ripple has said many times that their focus is not retail. So there is a good scenario, it's a good chance that after this SEC lawsuit, this is not for retail investors, that this becomes only accredited. In other words, only the banks and the institutions are buying this for the purposes that he went over in that video. And there's only one other question, the question that it's not scary to me, but I do think it's a scenario, and that is, are we allowed to keep it? Or is there some kind of, the way they did gold back in the, 30s, where they make you turn in your gold? Is that a scenario? I believe that is one of the scenarios. However, I don't think that they would even think about doing it if they didn't plan on giving you an amount of money that would make you not care. But there is that scenario. Now, there's one other thing that came to my mind when I watched these videos, and it's one company. It's BlackRock, the secret world power. I think all of this traces back to the financial crisis of 2008. Look at this. The U.S. financial crisis may officially be over, but one specter still spooks regulators: shadow banking. In their struggle to exorcise industry demons, one name looms large: BlackRock. Now, I want to show you this part right down here. The Ghostbusters of Wall Street. The collapse of the Lehman Brothers boosted BlackRock's business. Fink and his managers were known specialists in analyzing portfolios of mortgage-backed securities. This came in handy at the moment when investors and bankers were trying their best to do damage control. In no time, the team working out of the backroom office became known as the Ghostbusters of Wall Street. He said that soon they received calls from the Federal Reserve on a regular basis. Then Secretary of the Treasury, Timothy Geithner, was he was on a first name basis with BlackRock's boss. And then if you remember this, this was Robbie Mitchnick, who was with Ripple and wrote the paper with Susan Athey about a valuation, fundamental valuation. They actually did a valuation on XRP and I think Bitcoin back in 2018, I believe. But anyway, I've always thought that it was no coincidence that BlackRock hired this guy from Ripple, of all places, to run their digital assets division. And I just think that BlackRock is at the top of this whole stack of what is going to happen in this changeover, this financial system. Write it down. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family to go check out